David Settle, KWB, standing next to Plainsmen soccer coach Dan Benford as we get set for the single biggest match of the season. Do you like this scenario? Do you hate this scenario? I guess what are your feelings in this first round, loser out, winner take all type of setup Thursday?
It's a tough game. Playing anything that's one-time game, loser out, having to get rid of the last 14 games that we played and not let any of that really matter anymore. It's a tough situation for us. We'd love to have had that automatic qualifier and came up just a game short on that. So we got to focus in and make sure we take care of business on this game.
How well do you feel your team's playing right now? Because prior to the Central loss on Saturday, you guys had won 5 straight.
Yeah, I think we've really figured out a lot. We've made the adjustments that we had to based on injuries and different things that we've seen throughout the years or throughout the season. So I think we've been able to make the adjustments we needed, and we're really putting together what we feel like is our best opportunity to win. I think we just ran out of gas Saturday, really, more than anything. And I don't think it's really that big of a
if there is a guest member that would like a pizza, please come to the main office.
So you come off a senior day high, then you lose that game. How do you get these guys back up for a one-game season, essentially?
I mean, that's it. It's a one-game season, and honestly, that's all we have to tell these guys. You know, if they're not a little bit sour taste in their mouths for losing on Saturday, they can't find a way to take that into Thursday, a game that they have to win if the season's over. You know, I think that's a situation where these boys know what needs to happen. They're going to bring it. You know, everything I know about this team says that they'll be ready to play.
You get Cheyenne South in this matchup, 7 o'clock on Thursday at Thunder Basin High School in Gillette. What'd you take away from the 2 regular season matchups? Do you like this matchup as your loser out scenario?
I mean, certainly getting a 3 seed would let us believe that we're getting the 6 somewhere in that statistical juggling. We'd have to like that matchup more than a 4 or 5. South has some really potent, dangerous, powerful guys on their team. You know, they got their new German transfer student in that's playing for them, but they also got a guy, Brian, I believe his name's Brian, number 14. He's just as talented and dangerous as anyone else in the state. And you know, I like it for us because we have the experience going into it, how to beat them. I just don't like the loser out scenario.
You do have some veterans who have been, you know, kind of through the process like this, but you also have a lot of young guys that you factored in this year. Is that a little different approach that you have to take with this team around? Or this time around?
You know, I kind of feel like the young guys don't know any better at this point, and maybe that naivety is a good thing for us. You know, some of these seniors were with us, and they remember not making state in a loser-out game their freshman year. If they're not a senior, though, they don't understand what a loser-out game is because we've been automatic qualified the last 2 years. So it's just kind of letting the seniors do the talking this week, letting them share their experience of what it felt like when they were knocked out freshman year. They had beat the state champion, eventual champions, Central, twice that year, and then didn't even get to state to show what they could do. That's kind of the conversation. I'm really letting the senior leadership kind of take that conversation to the younger kids and let them know that they don't want to be on that side of it.
Lastly, what are you doing from a training standpoint this week? Obviously, you don't want to beat yourself up and tax these guys too much, so what do you focus on in a few days to prepare for Thursday?
It's the little things. We're going to put some extra practice into our set plays. Any chance we get to stop the ball and run a designed play in the flow of the game, those are huge. 40% of goals get scored off of set plays. So we're going to put some time and effort into making sure that those are crisp and clean. Maybe throw a few new things in now that everyone's seen us twice. Let's have maybe something up our sleeve for them. But that's really it. It's managing each other's bodies, like the kids' bodies and everything, and making sure that we're getting them as healthy as possible and not beating them up at all right now. We need to go in healthy this weekend. We've got plenty of games to play that'll keep their legs underneath them.
Lastly, actually, I'll add one more. Do you feel like South could have a trick up their sleeve that maybe you haven't seen or aren't quite anticipating?
That's always the fear. I mean, you know, as matchups go, South has a new coach, and my experience coaching against him is limited to 2 games. You know, so he's shown an ability to get this team to play together and to win games. First time they've done that in their program history, and they've not done it just once, they've done it 4 times, and they just did it against Central. So that's the fear, you know, and so we have to talk about how are we preparing for them, not only what we're going to do right, but what we know that they're going to do against us and how we can maybe anticipate what they have up their sleeve.
Well, best of luck to you this weekend in Gillette. The Plainsmen play 7 o'clock Thursday at Thunder Basin High School against Cheyenne South. If they win, they're guaranteed 4 more games, 2 more regionals, and then 2 next week at state. And hopefully we're talking with some student athletes next week preparing a state preview. But my thanks to Coach Dan Benford as the Plainsmen attack the postseason.